Jules, I'm in the unusual position here. I suspect I will be, of having to stick up for Mourinho a little bit, just a tiny bit. Although first I want to mention that one of the things back when Mourinho was now Mourinho and Carlo Ancelotti, of course, are they text each other.
Yeah, they're friends.
They're friends. Yeah. Everybody's friends, and also this is kinder, gentler Mourinho. But if you wanted to be mean and go back 15 years, I remember when Ancelotti in 2007, when he won the when he won the Champions League with Milan, which was his second Champions League, Mourinho had a little swipe, and he said, "Oh, that's fantastic! He's won his second Champions League. There are other managers, of course, who've won their second Champions League, but there's only one manager who gave up a 3-goal lead, who had a 3-goal lead in a Champions League final, and still lost the game." Now, again, they've made up. It's water under the bridge.
Yeah.
But kind of like what comes around goes around, because this wasn't a Champions League final, but it was the Eternal City.
Yeah.
It was Juventus.
Yeah.
It's the only Champions League final he's going to be playing in for some time. And, they had a 2-goal lead, and they gave up 3 goals in 7 minutes. It was 3 goals in 8 minutes in Istanbul, as I recall. I'm sure Don remembers that.
But where I agree with Don is, and we talked about Landucci and the substitution that Juve made, that again, where normal, we would have done it if we'd been on the bench. It's a no-brainer. And in the same way, if you're Mourinho and if you're on the Roma bench and you see that Locatelli goal to make it 3-2, and you sense it, in front of the television, I don't know what Don felt because he was really into the game commentating, but in front of the television I was like, this is not over by far. And yet nothing from Mourinho, where you could have brought, Kumbula on and go to a back three, which they used to play.
He doesn't like Kumbula.
No, okay, he doesn't like, it's not because he doesn't like him that he can't play him, right? Or Villa, or anything, do something, change something.
And he doesn't like Villar either.
Okay, no problem. Get players that you like then. But, we go back to the Bodo Glimt game. Very different game, but it's not my fault. I've got rubbish players. I only have 11. The rest are useless. And it's the same trick that he's used for the last 10 years of his career, where when there's something like this happening, either a heavy defeat or a comeback from the opposition, and he clearly should or could have done better or differently to not lose the game in that way. It's never his fault. He just washes his hand and says, look, my players are weak. They should learn from me, not me from them, he said at the end of the game. I was like, come on, what's this? Who says that now?
Okay. To put it in context, what he said at the end, he did say something like that. He said, the players have to come over to my position. I don't need to cater. I'm not going to cater to them. What he means is, I'm a winner. I've got the winning mentality. I've got the track record that proves it.
Yeah.
I want to work with these players for 3 years and bring them over to where I am.
Or where he was a long time ago, maybe.
Or where he thinks he should be. I take the point about that, but Don, when I look at some of the defending there,
for sure, yeah.
No, but we're not talking about kids, right? So if you want to go and question young players or inexperienced players, Chris Smalling played for Manchester United for a very long time. He's a very good defender, at least in Serie A. He's a very good, very good defender. He's Smaldini, remember?
Yeah, of course.
And yet, he made those errors. When he's talking about people who are too nice, is Chris Smalling somebody who's too nice? Is that who he's talking about?
I don't think so, Gab, because for an hour, Chris Smalling, I have no idea. Well, I'll tell you what he's doing. Jules is absolutely spot on. He's not talking about any individual. What he's doing is he's shoving it off him and onto the players, because in commentary I said last night at 3-1, the next goal in the game is the important one. So Locatelli gets it at 3-2. Then you can smell the game. And Jose's been in the game a long time. He's been a coach, he's been a manager for nigh on 30 years. If I'm sitting in commentary saying, Juve are back in the game at 3-2, you can't just then leave it up to the players, because you're leaving it onto the players who, by the way, for an hour, Roma were playing with a cigar on. Chris Smalling was excellent. Maitland-Niles was excellent. Vino was excellent. Ibanez was excellent. They all were. Midfield was functioning really well. Tammy Abraham had one of his best games. Pellegrini looked lively. Mkhitaryan was sharp. So you can't then just say, well, for an hour we were brilliant and I'm the king because I'm the best manager in the world. But when we lose 3-4, it's all on the players. Come on, you've got to take a bit more responsibility of that, because I could smell the game going away from them in that 7 minutes.
I think I should also point out, and again, double-edged sword here, but the guy who is Roma's most talented player in my opinion. And most people watch Italian football saying Nicola Zaniolo was unavailable to Mourinho. He's also the guy.
Even if he'd been available, he probably would have benched him anyway.
Well, it's funny because when he did, there was the game when Felix scored the goals when he was going to bring him on and then he didn't. And I pointed out, big call from Mourinho. He doesn't send on his most talented player. And the Mourinhoacs found me in the Twitter sphere.
I remember that.
And they went, oh no, Zaniolo's rubbish. He's terrible. Why is he? She's not the most talented player. There's these 10 guys more talented than him. I'm like, okay, right. That must be why Mourinho started him in almost every other game, right? Yeah. Obviously, it's pros and cons. Zaniolo's absence is not the reason that they lost game. He would have been an extra weapon. Although at the end, it was funny because he sent on all the Spanish guys he doesn't like. Carlos Perez, Borja Mayoral. He just sends on more stickers.
Exactly, yeah.
No choice. You got to make it happen. Equally, though, I don't know that we should be too hard because Pellegrini converts the penalty. It is 4-4.
Yeah, no, of course.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.